William S. Lerach first heralded himself to the elite circles in America's legal community in 1977 from the sterile downtown county courthouse on Front Street, a few blocks from the old waterfront in San Diego. The setting was Superior Court Judge James L. Fogt's nondescript courtroom, the case Barr v. United Methodist Church. By the time it ended, class action litigation, a single legal action on behalf of many plaintiffs against common defendants, would never be the same in California. And ultimately, the victorious lawyer would see to it that no corporate entity within the United States would be invulnerable to outside scrutiny. No U.S. church denomination had ever been the subject of a successful class action lawsuit. The unfolding case owed its drama not only to the legal precedents at stake, or to the conflicted feelings among the litigants themselves, pious Methodists and retired ministers who found themselves suing their own denomination, but also to the intensely personal competition between the rival attorneys. The Methodists' lead lawyer was Samuel W. Whitwer, Sr., a barrel-chested eminence whose regal presence and mane of silver hair all but announced his wealth of experience. The son of a steelworker, Whitwer was born in 1908, the year William Jennings Bryan ran for president the third and last time. Like Bryan, Whitwer came out of the Midwest, his reputation preceding him like a billowy cloud. Harvard Law, class of 1933, lay leader in the Methodist Church, and then lawyer, who, after 5 decades of futile efforts by others, succeeded in reforming Illinois' antiquated Constitution. The father of the Illinois Constitution, they called him. Adlai Stevenson remarked that Whitwer was a man who never quits. In 1960, the Illinois Republican Party chose Whitwer to be its standard-bearer for a U.S. Senate seat. Dwight D. Eisenhower approved of this nomination and, in a memo to Richard Nixon, referred to Sam Whitwer as a very smart man. Nearly 2 decades later, Whitwer strode into San Diego with the air of a man accustomed to deference. He brought with him a mellifluous, authoritative-sounding basso profundo voice, the distinctive diction of a practiced orator, and an abundance of self-confidence. One of the authors, Carl Cannon, was assigned to the legal affairs beat for the San Diego Union Tribune at the time. Cannon covered much of the Pacific Homes litigation and witnessed firsthand and wrote about the tense interplay between Bill Lerach and Sam Whitwer. Co-author Patrick Dillon, an editor for the paper then, edited some of those articles. "He was the only man I ever saw," Bill Lerach said, "who could strut while sitting down." Whitwer harbored reciprocal feelings about Lerach. The first time he ever laid eyes on the younger man, Whitwer and his attorney son, Samuel W. Whitwer, Jr., were checking into the Westgate Plaza Hotel, San Diego's newest and finest, only to hear loud, whiskey-fueled crosstalk emanating from the lobby between Lerach and another lawyer they presumed to be Mel Weiss. "We're going to take down the Methodist Church," Lerach boasted. Public woofing was not typical behavior of the shining lights of the San Diego bar, but Lerach was not from that town. Born and raised in Pittsburgh, Bill Lerach was new to the West Coast. He liked California, had come to stay, and loved being in court on this case. He was 31, but appeared younger with his long blonde curly hair, Sundance Kid mustache, round wire-rimmed glasses, and a suit that, although tailored, looked too large on his slender frame. He was easy to underestimate. As the Pacific Homes battle played out, Samuel Whitwer and the rest of the nation's corporate establishment came to see what they were up against. By dint of temperament and talent, William Shannon Lerach constituted a perfect instrument of destruction in an emerging hybrid of the legal profession. The super-lawyers of the plaintiff's bar who viewed themselves as avenging angels for the little people cast on the slag heap of free enterprise. This theme would emerge more clearly in the years ahead. Meanwhile, The realization that in the process of attempting to reform American capitalism, they could become quite rich did nothing to diminish their adversarial zeal. Quite the opposite, actually. The San Diego case concerned a string of retirement facilities called Pacific Homes, established as a nonprofit corporation in 1929 for retired Methodist ministers and lay leaders. In the late 1970s, the corporation was in financial trouble, a victim of the residents' increasing lifespans, the overgenerous impulses of its founders, a flawed business plan, runaway inflation, and bad management, with some graft thrown in. The Methodist hierarchy bailed the homes out at first, but as the losses mounted, Pacific Homes officials resorted to acquiring more buildings and attracting new residents with life care contracts, even as they spent the money paid up front by new retirees to keep the existing retirement facilities afloat. However well-intentioned the Methodist elders had been originally, they eventually found themselves running an elaborate Ponzi scheme.